Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, from Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. It's Friday, and you know what that means. It's time for the weekly SmackDown Event Center report. And now here's the man that will bring you the happenings on WWE SmackDown every Friday night, Mr. Eric M. Lima.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977. This is episode 2379 of the show, and this is July the 12th, 2025, 12:47 a.m. That's right, I'm up late. I do apologize for doing the video this late, but because of everything has been gone down, obviously, I had the bonus island to play this afternoon, and that late afternoon I just went to the Wellness City Festival not too long ago, and I came home late because the wrestling show never started on time. But now I just finished watching SmackDown and also joined a couple of streams. I want to thank Jordy Scout for inviting me on his stream, as well as David St. Dennis for inviting me on. So I do appreciate you two gentlemen for that, even though I got roasted in Jordy's stream, as per usual. That's been my life. And that's been my life. But nevertheless, I'm here. And I figured gotta talk about what happened on SmackDown. I just finished watching SmackDown. I finished watching the whole I missed the first hour of SmackDown, so basically so we're going to talk about that a little bit. Let me just scratch my back before. Oh man, I needed that. Yeah. Needed that back scratch so much. So let's get going on what I want to talk about here on SmackDown, and then we're going to roll with this. So it started off, Jelly Roll was walking through the arena. Randy Orton greeted him, which was really, really super cool. And he says, hey, you look great, man. I'm proud of you. And it looks like Randy Orton's got a friend in Jelly Roll. So a little bit more in that situation as we go along here. LA Knight comes out to address the Nashville crowd about Seth Rollins. Paul Heyman interrupts him at this time, and basically says that his crew, the goon troop, as LA Knight likes to call him. So Paul Heyman basically says that Seth Rollins is the man, and all that. And I forget what. Oh, he called Big Bronson Reed a slop house, and then when he mentioned Braun Breaker, everybody started doing the bark thing. Hey, don't let him do that. He'll get excited and do one of these things and all that. So Paul Heyman comes out and interrupts him, and basically is told LA Knight he's got no future. What Seth Rollins does. And then Solo Sikoa and the MFTs, Tala Tonga, Tonga Loa, and JC Mateo came out, and then reminded Paul Heyman, hey, a lot of things have changed. There's no more tribal chief, but there's me and my MFTs, and if you don't get out of here, well, if you can stick around, but if you get out of here, well, we'll let you live. So Paul Heyman says also they're going to put his big butt through the table again like last year, but then Paul Heyman decided, well, I'm not going to go through that again. He retreats through the crowd. And then LA Knight, they gave LA Knight the same opportunity, and LA Knight's like, yeah, no, I'm going to come here and fight. And so, like the Shield, the MFTs and Solo Sikoa surround the ring until a chair was sliding in the ring, and LA Knight wanted to know what's going on. And Big Jimmy Uso, also got a chair to back up LA Knight, and so they're about to go, and Solo Sikoa says, no, retreat. So, and Tala Tonga wanted to get in there. He wasn't intimidated by the steel chairs, and Solo Sikoa says, no, not right now. Smart man, Sikoa, smart man. You see two guys with a chair, you better back up. But then Nick Aldis comes out and says, okay. you know what? I know you got the title against Big Jim Uso tomorrow, and we're hoping that you lose it. But if it's a fight you want, it's a fight you're going to get. In the main event, it'll be the team of LA Knight teaming up with Jimmy Uso against Solo Sikoa and that Stooge, JC Mateo. JC Mateo, Stooge. I thought that was funny. So I thought that was pretty hilarious. So then Alexa Bliss was talking to Charlotte Flair and basically said, just be out there with me. And we're not friends. We're allies of coincidence, and just be out there. And so Charlotte Flair goes, fine, and he goes, I don't need a cheerleader though. And Charlotte goes, what are you talking about? I'm my own cheerleader. So it was pretty funny. And then in attendance, Fred Durst, the lead singer of Limp Bizkit, who also created the Undertaker's theme song, Keep Rolling. And the Fatal 4-Way women's matchup, Roxanne Perez, the champion, versus the NXT Women's North American Champion, So Ruka, making her SmackDown debut on the SmackDown show, Kairi Sane, and Alexa Bliss. And then there was one situation where So Ruka had Roxanne Perez pinned, and Raquel Rodriguez put Roxanne Perez's foot on the ropes, and then as she walked over and casual like, oh, didn't do anything, Zarya comes over, punches Raquel, and as Raquel was going to pick her up, Asuka came charging after Raquel. Raquel booted Asuka in the face, and then threw Zarya right in, and dispatched Zarya, but then Charlotte Flair takes out Rodriguez, throwing her onto Wade Barrett and Joe Tessitore. Joe Tessitore took a tumble, which I thought was pretty funny. But in the end, So Ruka got distracted with Kairi Sane. But Alexa Bliss took advantage, hit Kairi Sane with his sister Abigail. Bliss wins the match. Meanwhile, the tag team titles were on the line. The Street Profits defending against the Wyatt Six. And during the matchup, Eric Rowan gets involved. But in the end, we have brand new tag team champions. That will be the Wyatt Six. And that means, right now, Loomis and Gacy were the active wrestlers in that matchup. So they're Dexter Loomis and Joe Gacy are the tag team champions. But any two of the four members of the Wyatt Six can defend the tag team titles. Freebird rules. But who's going to take the titles off the Wyatt Six? That's the interesting question, for sure. Then Fraxium and Motor City Machine Guns were in the back reacting, not very happy about that. And then DIY starts yelling at them, oh, what are you doing? And then Andrade and Rey Fenix, I call them the Tranquilo Club, and they came in and they had their chance, and DIY's flipping out. So we're going to talk to Nick Aldis about this. Good luck, gentlemen. In attendance, also UFC fighters Michael Chandler and legend Daniel Cormier. There's another female celebrity too. I don't know who that is. Give me a second here, folks. And UFC was Laura Sanko. That was the other. It seems like Andrade Ray Phoenix are now part of the tag team division, and DIY is not happy. Hey, DIY, if you had not screwed around with the tag team division, we wouldn't see the Wyatt Six as tag team champions. But fortunately, we are there. So, but the Wyatt Six, they've earned this. Especially Loomis and Gacy. Man, I'll tell you what, Loomis and Gacy earned those championships. Gotta respect them for that. In fact, I think they did it for Bray. Let me tell you, and Luke. I'm sure. Bray and Luke are watching and probably being very proud. Then Jelly Roll had a performance and was doing his performance. Even though I'm not a big fan of country music, but Jelly Roll has an inspirational story. I come to find out a lot of good things about Jelly Roll. Good guy, and then of all people, that Beavis-looking butt-headed moron, Logan Paul, interrupts the whole dang thing, and I'm going, what the heck is that idiot thinking? And then he's He's running down Logan. He's running down Jelly Roll, disrespecting Jelly Roll. Randy Orton comes out, backs Jelly Roll up, stood up for Jelly Roll, but then Drew McIntyre ended up hitting him with a Claymore. And then you know what freaking Logan Paul did? That idiot Logan Paul, he decided to attack. He decided to attack Randy Orton, and then Jelly Roll finally stood up, finally mustered the courage, grabbed Logan Paul, tossed him out of the ring, and then he helped up Randy Orton. Randy Orton gave him a hug. He said, "Well, you're all right, brother. We got you." So, and even and then Logan Paul got so mad he threw a temper fit, a little temper tantrum like a little kid, and decided to destroy and vandalize all the musical instruments of Jelly Roll's and his band. And Nick Aldis is trying to calm Jelly Roll down. And I'll tell you one thing right now. Logan Paul, you're not going to be in a world of hurt, son. And believe me, when I say this, you Beavis-looking butthead, you're going down. That's what I say. And then Orton was talking to Jelly Roll, said, "Hey, you got my back. I got you." And I think Jelly Roll's girl was with him. And she said, "You'll be okay." And then Jelly Roll and Randy Orton said, "Hey, you're gonna be okay. I'll be fine," and all that. And I'm sure after tomorrow night, Saturday night's main event, Randy Orton, Logan Paul, you're gonna be in a world for hurt, buddy. That's for sure. And then R-Truth went one-on-one with Aleister Black, and Truth ended up winning that matchup. And then Aleister Black goes up to Truth, but then in backstage, Damian Priest stops and, hey, you lost, all that. And then the two shook hands, but then Aleister Black attacked Damian Priest, and both of them are brawling. I've always wanted to see Aleister Black go one-on-one with Damian Priest. Now I'm going to have that opportunity, and believe me, it'll be a heck of a fight, really. So, then Wade Barrett interviewed Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus, which, hello ladies, that's all I'm going to say, and they had a war of words over the women's championship. Naomi interrupts them and held up her briefcase until Jade Cargill attacks her, and that will be setting up for Evolution. Meanwhile, the tag team main event, Jimmy Uso and LA Knight versus a team of Solo Sikoa and JC Mateo. And Paul Heyman distracts LA Knight, but Tala Tonga and Tonga Loa ended up, chasing Jimmy Uso after the matchup. After Knight and Uso ended up winning the match, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed did attack Knight from behind. And I'll tell you one thing, they're doing Seth Rollins' dirty work. They're doing a heck of a job, that's for sure. Oh, shoot. Give me a second here, folks. Sorry about that. But, oh, yeah. Oh, boy. And what I plan on doing, too, is I'm going to watch some Supercard of Honor. And there's going to be a lot of good things that come out of there. So I'll probably end up watching that when I ever get a chance to. But we're going to go picks and predictions first. Now, we're going to do Saturday night's main event first. There's 4 matches on the card. The WWE title on the line, Gunther versus Goldberg. And I'm picking Gunther to win over the man. Sorry about that. I like Goldberg, but Gunther will retain. Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. I picked Randy Orton in that matchup, and then LA Knight versus Seth Rollins. The Goon Troop might get involved, so I'm picking Seth Rollins to win that. And same thing for the U.S. title, Solo Sikoa versus Jimmy Uso. With the MFTs could get involved, I picked Solo Sikoa. But I should have changed my prediction from Orton to McIntyre because I know Logan Paul, that Beavis-looking butthead, is going to get involved. But now, also the women's Evolution. All right, because I already did my NXT Great American Bash picks and predictions there. So the women's battle royal, I'm picking Julia to win that one. Women's world title, Io Sky defending against Rhea Ripley. I picked Io to retain. The women's title, WWE women's title on the women's world title, Sky versus I picked the heel Sky. The WWE women's undisputed title will be on the line. Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus. I picked Stratton to retain. Meanwhile, the NXT women's title will be on the line. JC Jane versus Jordan Grace. I picked Grace to win that one. And the winner of that matchup, though, whoever wins the NXT Women's Championship, will defend that title against the TNA Knockouts champion Masha Slamovich, who will be defending her title. So winner take all in that matchup. Meanwhile, the Women's Intercontinental title on the line, Becky Lynch versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. Lynch defending champ. I picked Bayley to be the new champ. No holds barred. Jade Cargill versus Naomi. I picked Naomi to win that one. And then the women's tag team titles will be on the line. In a fatal four-way, Judgment Day's Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez defends against Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss against Sol Ruca and Zarya. And Sol Ruca's got a huge, humongous opportunity to make history this weekend if she retains her title against Izzy Dame, and her and Zarya win the tag team titles on Sunday. Then Sol Ruca will be the first woman to hold 3 titles simultaneously in WWE history. And then, meanwhile, the Kabuki Warriors will be the 4th team, and I picked the Kabuki Warriors to win that matchup. Well, that is all the time that we have on the show. Tomorrow there'll be Card Sharks and more of the Whalen City Festival report for June the 12th. It's already June the 12th, July the 12th. Here I go. I feel like Brandon now. July the 12th, 2025, and we will go from there. So I'll see you guys later, and I'll see you in the next episode of the show. Well, technically tomorrow is today because it is 1:11 a.m. That's why I'm a little bit up late, so I'll probably get some sleep. And so I will see you guys later. You guys have a wonderful, blessed rest of your day. Get some sleep. I'm going to get some sleep myself after uploading these videos. And until next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and do it for Bob Saget production, and in association with a Raving Bull for 3000 Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.